I personally believe all people are full of shit all of the time.
See? What did I say?
But
he thinks that everyone's full of shit, so his shit just needs to be louder and catchier than anybody else's. I fucking told you. I fucking nailed it. This clip is going in every YouTube video I make from now on. JP Sears, you gave the game away, my man. He doesn't realize that he gave the game away because he doesn't realize that it's a game that only that side plays. They really think that everybody thinks the same way they do.
But I represent science.
Of course you do. A new variant is here.
I don't remember anybody saying, please, Black Rifle Coffee Company. Look at this. We've got Black Rifle Coffee on display. See, this is so weird to me because he's legitimately pushing these products, but you would think that this would be a satirical, like if I was going to play a moron chud, like my character Emmett Woosley on my YouTube channel, who says all these stupid things that JP is giving me tons of inspiration for right now. And in fact, I might have to retire Emmett because I think JP's gone ahead and taken the fucking glory here. But he can't be sardonically pushing these Black Rifle coffees, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's obviously sponsored by these guys. This is a clear and present product placement here. But then he's playing an idiotic character. And I'll be very surprised if he somehow ties the Black Rifle coffee to the satirical, exaggerated version of whatever the fuck it is he's talking about. Man, this guy just heaps it on so heavy that it's hard to keep up with. You know what I mean? And what is he wearing? I mean, that's a drip, I guess. He's dripping that off. That's dripping off of him, I think.
How deadly is it? Are there more lockdowns coming? More mandates? Well, tonight, we're going to tell you everything you...
No, just like the same shit. Like, it's the same shit. Like, we've been telling you this is going to happen if you guys don't adhere to the lockdowns and the mask mandates and get vaccinated. Then we're going to have more variants, and we're going to have more lockdowns, more mask mandates, and we have to get new vaccines if it mutates enough. Like, we told you this. You don't listen. You weren't listening. You don't listen to the facts. You don't do a critical thinking thing that you were talking about. JP.
You need to know to give you a booster of fear to keep you controllable. So, listen up! The Plan Democrats are very pleased to announce the new variant.
My man just said Plan Democrats. So he's mixing the words plandemic, which is already a mixing of words, and he's mixing that with Democrats because that's... My guy's just a fucking fascist. He's just a fascist propagandist out here. I don't even think he lives in America. I think he lives in like Costa Rica or something.
The Omicron variant. How deadly is it, Mr. Science?
Has the molecular characteristics that would strongly suggest that it would be more transmissible.
Yeah, but no one's dying.
You asked how deadly it is, and then he said that it's more transmissible. We know that he said that it. I believe he said the story is that the thing I'm hearing is that it's probably less deadly, but more transmissible. And if it's close to as deadly, that's still a huge problem, but it's way more transmissible. So you're lying. You're lying, JP. You're just straight up fucking lying. JP Sears, you are a liar.
And we wish they were. Let's get into it. At a genetic level with the Omicron variant, if you rearrange the letters, it tells you exactly what you are if you believe our fear-mongering around it. Now the world is...
That's seriously the substance of his arguments right there. That is how strong his arguments are. Crayon level. shit. If you just don't believe in it, it'll go away. My good God.
Shocked to hear that the virus has mutated into a new variant, which is surprisingly exactly how viruses behave. And you should be terrified of this unpredictable viral behavior. But what should you believe about
It wasn't unpredictable, you liar. Why are you lying? It wasn't unpredictable. This was predicted. This has been predicted.
the new variant? Well, the boy who cried wolf says you should believe the boy who cried wolf. And I think that's a boy worth believing. More from Dr.
What? What even are you saying? Oh my God, like, this is so fucking detached from anything in reality that it is hard to even respond to. This guy is just blabbering out nonsense. This is just nonsense.
Elf on a Shelf in a minute. But first, just how deadly is the new variant? Well, here's what the South African doctor who identified the Omicron variant has to say about how deadly it is.
But looking at the mildness of the symptoms that we are seeing, currently there is no reason for panicking, as we don't see severely ill patients.
So you're putting out an expert who you say we shouldn't believe, who told us all, this wasn't some secret thing, like I just said, that it's probably less deadly. And you think that somehow means that they're telling us it's more deadly? How do you even expect anybody to buy that, JP? How do you expect anybody to see what you just did and think you're not a complete fucking clown shoe?
Mild symptoms and no severely ill patients. Devastating. Sounds like we should be panicking.
Literally nobody said to panic. This is a complete straw man that you've just made up whole cloth out of nothing.
Let's find out more. We've all come
Breathed
to love
life
that time
into
of
it.
the year when domestic terrorists who hold public office terrorize us for our protection with their expert scientific advice that's based in science fiction. Now, getting to the bottom
what do you
of
mean
the
it's based
story,
in science
what
fiction?
really happened.
You think germ theory of disease is science fiction? Is that what you think? You don't believe in germs? This fucking guy.
With a new variant. Well, it's been reported that on November 24th, the nation of South Africa refused to buy more doses from Pfizer, saying they don't need it anymore. Then just 2 days later,
so maybe they
the
don't
World
need
Health
anymore.
Organization announced that a new variant had been discovered in South Africa, and worldwide flights from South Africa became banned. Saying they don't need it anymore. Then just 2 days later, the World Health Organization announced that a new variant had been discovered in South Africa.
That's a little bit disingenuous. I'm pretty sure the people in South Africa spoke up and said that they had found a new variant, and then the World Health Organization relayed that information on to the rest of us. So you're making it sound like the World Health Organization made it up and said it was in South Africa so that they could get South Africans to buy more vaccines. That's obviously what you're getting at, but that's not what happened. In fact, South Africa kind of hurt themselves a little bit by, and I still think it's weird that he's got the Black Rifle sponsorship next to the hyperbolic, exaggerated, satirical character that we're supposed to know is lying to us.
And worldwide flights
It's
from
a
South
Poe,
Africa
right? He's doing a
became
Poe.
banned.
But
And Joe Pharmaceutical Biden got in on punishing South Africa by banning all flights from South Africa to the U.S. Here's what he had to say about the travel ban. A wall will not stop the coronavirus. Banning all travel from Europe or any other part of the world will not stop it. Oops. I think that's what he said when Trump did it. Here's what Biden had to say about when he did it. Here's what it does. It gives us time. Scientific as always.
So you're saying that we should be listening to Joe Biden the most about this? Okay. I just want to make sure that you're endorsing Joe Biden.
And Kamala Harris took a break from blowing her way to the top to get in on the fear-mongering orgy. It gives us
fuck
time.
did he just say?
Scientific as always. And Kamala Harris took a break from blowing her way to the top to get in on the fear-mongering.
Whoa. 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 You heard it here first, folks. Joe Biden fucks.
Orgy when she had this to say about the travel ban. Trump's extended un-American travel ban undermines our nation's core values. It is clearly driven by hate, not security. Guys, I think these are their old tweets. Do we have the new ones? No? And
Switch
rest
over to
assured
regular
that
OBS,
Fauci
you know
has
what it
met with Biden to fill him in. A very important meeting, I'm sure, as now the president will be
Blah,
able to
blah,
put
blah,
his
blah,
pretend
blah,
cognitive
blah,
ability
blah,
to work,
blah,
trying to
blah,
solve the
blah,
pretend
blah. Is this seriously going to just be 4.5 more minutes of complete and total utter fucking nonsense? Because that's all I've gotten so far. That's all you're given. Complete nonsense. Literally, just fucking the most absurd, wacky, off-the-wall, wild fucking shit that just fucking is weird.
problem. During the meeting, Dr. Crimes Against Humanity said, while it will take about 2 more weeks to have more definitive information on the transmissibility, severity, and other characteristics of the variant, he believes existing vaccines are likely to provide a degree of protection. Well,
Why is that hard to believe? You just talked a minute ago about how you know viruses are going to mutate and stuff. You know that we have to get a different flu vaccine. Oh, no. I'm not even going to open that can of worms with you.
that's likely a very scientific thing to say. It'll be 2 more weeks before we know anything about this thing, but it's
That is a very scientific thing to say. Scientists don't like to come out and say that they know shit when they don't. What's wrong with that? Because you don't understand that that's how it works. Because you think everybody thinks the same way you do. You think everybody's full of shit and that's okay. That's what you think. So you automatically assume, because everything you say is made up in your own mind and shit out your mouth, you think that's what everybody else is doing too. That's not true. It's just not true. You're just wrong.
safe to say that our
Plus you
shot
fell
will
off.
likely work against this thing that we don't know about. Likely. Probably.
Yeah, it is likely, and probably it will help against it. It's likely to have some level of efficacy against the virus that is evolved from the virus we already made the vaccine for. Yeah, it's a pretty small likelihood that this virus mutated some resistance to the vaccine. It's not impossible, but it doesn't seem very likely. And they don't see any signs of that as of yet, as of the recording of your video here.
Science! This just in! A federal court has blocked Biden's mandates in 10 states, having never been elected to public office, and with no polls to show his
Ah, yes, federal courts, the final authority on science and all things good for society.
approval rating, other than
You heard it here first, folks. J.P. Sears endorses the federal courts. He thinks the government is the final fucking authority on these things.
his score on Rotten Tomatoes and his YouTube trailer. Some have
fuck
questioned
up.
Fauci's trustworthiness after he's been caught repeatedly lying about funding the Wuhan lab and caught lying to Congress. But may we remind you,
Or did he
I
lie to
represent
Congress?
science.
the new New York governor, whose name I don't care about, is quickly picking up the torch
I wonder why he doesn't care about her name.
and following in her predatory predecessor's footsteps, as she's already declared a state of emergency in New York. because of the new variant.
Yeah,
This even
'cause there's
before
a virus,
single case
dude.
of the moronic variant has been found in New York. What is the definition?
Oh, you believe in viruses? You're an idiot. You're a moron if you believe in viruses. That's what you're saying, dude. That is the entire thesis of your video. That somebody's an idiot if they're worried about getting sick from a deadly virus. Fucking stupid, man. I guarantee this dude was way more germophobic. These conservative types are always like, ew, dirty foreigners bringing sicknesses and keep them sick, poor people away from me and all that stuff. Like, disease is one of the things they worry about the most, except for now when it's become a political issue. They've decided to go ahead and suddenly not believe in germs.
Of fear-mongering. Thus far, with her track record of useless leadership, expect her to order all sick people into nursing homes pretty soon. Just to see how that works again. But what does CNN have to say? Oh, scientists are worried. Got it. Of course they are, CNN. With regard to CNN's relationship with the news, we can all reminisce about WWE wrestling. When in the 70s and 80s,
What?
we all knew it was fake. WWE pretended it wasn't.
Don't talk about wrestling, talk about science. Talk about CNN. You're talking about CNN in the news. We're not here to talk about wrestling. By the way, I remember that match, and I also remember the match. I believe there was supposed to be a rematch, but Hulk wasn't able to make it, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake or something like that fought Andre the Giant. And if I remember correctly, I think they both got hurt. Both Hulk Hogan and Brutus in their respective matches got hurt really bad because that dude is a fucking monster.
But people still watched. Then in the 90s, the WWE announced, yeah, it's fake. It's just for entertainment.
That's not how it happened.
We can only be left wondering when CNN will make their announcement. That's it for today's update.
You mean like Fox News already has in court several times? Is that what you mean? You've given not a single drop of evidence in this video. All you're doing is spreading fear, seeding doubt, and confusing people. Only the easily confused, of course, because nobody takes this fast-talking shit. Nobody with a brain takes this fast-talking shit. Crackhead ass fucking dude trying to get $1 from me, talking 500 words a minute.
Update on the moronic variant. Are you scared? Do you feel more
You sound like a fucking moron when you say that, dude. The moronic variant. The moronic variant. God, you're such a fucking clown, dude. That is literally what you are. You're a clown. You're up here doing your little clown dance with your little clown outfit on, singing your little clown song with your big fucking clown shoes.
controllable? Well, you should. Now get back in your homes, you dirty people, or else you're gonna die. Unless you have a relationship with God, in which
COVID, more people have died from COVID, not from the pandemic as a whole, but from just the virus. Because remember, those are two different numbers. Lots of people died. You know, if somebody dies from a heart attack because they weren't able to get into the hospital because the hospital was full of COVID patients, that person died from the pandemic, even though they didn't die from COVID. So our numbers are actually undercounted. But even the people who died from COVID have outnumbered the people who died in the Civil War. And not just the people who died in battle, but the people who died from the secondary effects of the war, which is like 75% of the deaths. So, yeah, this
case you don't really fear death because you know death is only an illusion, and all that's possible is for you to be reborn into a more expanded awareness of your true nature, which is divine. But you're not really controllable in that state, are you? So be scared, because you're gonna die.
So he's using the Karlin Borisenko meme here. I wonder if she agrees with him on anything. I wonder if somebody could show her this and convince her that her beliefs could be used to justify bad actions. Because that's what's going on right here. Like, explicitly. There's no confusion that that's what's happening in this video.
Good night. Hi, As your doctor, in order to
Stretch a 9-minute video and a 5-minute video into freaking 50 minutes already. Wow.
protect our connection against growing censorship, I'd like to prescribe you to join my Freedom Fighter email list.
Freedom
Just
Fighter.
go to awakenwithjp.com/join me. I'll see you on the inside.
Because
oh yeah, real quick, I want to thank the
Freedom
sponsor of
Fighter.
today's video, Magnesium Breakthrough, made by Bioptimizers. Now you might be asking,
This guy is such a soy boy.
Well, wasn't that about some bullshit? Hey, if you liked the video, hit the like button. That's what it's there for. If you didn't like the video, leave me alone. If you want to see more like this, subscribe and follow me on Twitch, where you can see this happen live. And if you really, really like what I do, you can help me make this my job by paying me money.
I'm full of shit.